Hi everyone! In this video, I'll show you how to make a Tres Leches cake. It's a traditional Latin American dessert that consists of 3 types of milk: evaporated milk, condensed milk, and heavy cream. This is my mom's recipe, and it's absolutely delicious. I promise after watching this video, you will be making this cake over and over again. So without further ado, let's get started. To make this recipe, you need 2 9-inch round cake pans or 1 9x13 baking pan. If you only have one 9x13 pan, you can make 1 large cake. But if you have 2 cake pans like me, you're going to end up with 2 beautiful layers just like this. You will need 2 8-ounce packages of this 1 cup of granulated sugar, 1 2-cup of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 to 2 cup of unsalted butter melted, 4 large eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk, 1 12-ounce can of evaporated milk, 1 cup of heavy whipping cream for the topping. The first thing we want to do is preheat our oven to 350 degrees F. Then go ahead and grease and flour your cake pans. You can use cake flour or all-purpose flour, whatever you have on hand. Once you have greased and floured your pans, set them aside. In a medium-sized bowl, whisk together the granulated sugar, flour, baking powder, and salt. Set the dry ingredients aside, and in another medium-sized bowl, combine the melted butter, eggs, and vanilla extract. Whisk until the mixture looks like this. Add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients and mix until just combined. Do not overmix. Once the batter is ready, pour half of the batter into each of the prepared cake pans. Place the pans on the middle rack of the preheated oven and bake for 30 to 35 minutes or until a wooden toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean. To prevent overbaking, start checking the doneness of the cakes about 5 minutes before the minimum baking time. Once the timer goes off, remove the cakes from the oven and place them on a wire rack to cool for 10 minutes before inverting them onto the wire rack to cool completely. While the cakes are cooling down, we're going to make the Tres Leches milk mixture. In a medium-sized bowl, combine the sweetened condensed milk, evaporated milk, and heavy cream. Use a whisk to make sure the milks are well combined. The Tres Leches mixture is now ready, and we're going to pour it on top of the cooled cakes. But before doing so, you want to poke holes all over the top of the cakes using the back of a fork. This will help the Tres Leches mixture absorb into the cake and add extra flavor and moistness. I like to move the fork in different directions to make sure I get all the edges and the center of the cake. Once you have poked holes all over the top of the cakes, we're going to pour half of the Tres Leches mixture on top. Let the cake absorb the milk for about 10 minutes. Depending on how dry your cake is, you may need more or less time. After 10 minutes, pour the remaining Tres Leches mixture on top, and again, let the cake absorb the milk. I usually end up using all the Tres Leches mixture. However, if you have leftover milk, you can save it and use it to soak the cake the next day. Just make sure you store it in an airtight container. While the cake is soaking, we're going to make the whipped cream topping. In a large bowl, add the heavy whipping cream and beat on medium speed with an electric mixer until soft peaks form. Once the whipped cream has doubled in volume and soft peaks form, we're going to add the powdered sugar and vanilla extract. Continue beating on medium speed until stiff peaks form. If you want a detailed explanation on how to properly whip the cream, I'll leave a link in the description box below. The whipped cream topping is now ready, and we're going to spread it on top of the Tres Leches soaked cake. You can either use a piping bag fitted with a large star tip or a regular spoon. For this video, I'm going to use a spoon. Spread the whipped cream all the way to the edges of the cake. Now the cake is ready to be sliced and served. This cake is extremely moist and fluffy. You literally have to see it to believe it. Look at this. It almost looks fake. This cake can be served plain just like this, or you can add your favorite fruits, chocolate syrup, nuts, coconut flakes, basically anything your heart desires. Since I have a lot of Tres Leches mixture left, I decided to make individual cups of Tres Leches cake. Here's a step-by-step on how to make individual cups of Tres Leches cake. To make the individual cups, we're going to use these 6-ounce plastic cups. I bought mine from Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description box below. We're also going to need some sort of silicone mat or a piece of silicone. I bought this silicone mat on Amazon as well. It's a great investment if you plan on making several cups. However, you can always line your baking sheet with aluminum foil or parchment paper, and that will work too. The first thing we want to do is trim the sides of the cake to make it even. Now we're going to cut the cake into 1-inch cubes. Place half of the cake cubes in each of the plastic cups. Press the cubes down gently. I like to use a mini measuring cup to press down the cake because it gets the job done quickly and evenly. Once the cups are filled with cake, we're going to pour half of the remaining Tres Leches mixture. Let the cake absorb the milk for about 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, repeat the process by adding more cake and then pouring the rest of the Tres Leches mixture. Again, let the cake absorb the milk for 5 minutes. If you notice the cake cubes are still very moist, you can add a little bit more cake. It's better to add the cake in small increments rather than pouring all of it at once. Once the cups are filled, place them on the silicone mat or lined baking sheet. Refrigerate for at least 2 hours before serving. I actually let mine sit in the refrigerator overnight. The longer you let it sit, the more flavorful it will be. These little cups can be topped with the whipped cream, additional Tres Leches mixture, fruit, or any other toppings of your choice. As you can see, there's endless possibilities when it comes to decorating this cake. As I mentioned earlier, this is my mom's recipe, which means it's extremely special to me. I have fond memories of birthdays, holidays, and family gatherings filled with this cake. Tres Leches Cake is loved by many. It's super easy to make, and it's a guaranteed crowd pleaser. If you made this recipe, I would love to see your beautiful creations. Please share your photos on social media and tag us so we can see them. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more amazing recipes. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.